Let's get to the bottom of this one. Unspoken truths that I miss one. Tap into the minds of the people, rather acknowledge before I dismiss one. Atheists, Muslim, Christians, Buddhists, they all got usage, all got perspective. It's a collective. Get to the bottom what the truth is, where the heart's uncovered, where you detox from all of the lies you smothered. When them tries could have killed you, but with faith you recover. Yeah, peel off the makeup, we finna take off. Never said it'd be a cakewalk. Meditate till we charged up. Execute goes regardless. Decalcify my pineal, breaking language barriers, we saw millennials. Planets passing age rotations, down me we owe, so down me we know. Sometimes we can be slow, that's why my ears open. Every drop you add could complete the ocean. Speak up, play your part too. Been vulnerable, it's an art to reflect on all the juice like taught you. It's on you, tell the truth.
Yeah, we about to have a good conversation. Yeah, let's go. We about to have a good conversation. Yeah, let's go. We about to have a good conversation. Yeah, let's go. Listen. Yeah. Aim in the fit so you see in the mirror. Play with your focus and watch it get clear. Polish your crown, turn it up if you wear it. You live in the root, release what you're fearing. And watch it all rise, the righteous will hear it. They calling us twisted, I'm not even caring. Because it's unseen, the mind is too barren. They won't even heal it, they pass it to cheering. We over here healing, conversing and listening. Know that the truth isn't always appealing, but end it with healing and find your beginning. Frequency positive, what you receiving. Perception is up to you, what you believing. What you retrieving, mentally speaking. Life that they breathing, no words from a heathen. Don't know it all, but together undefeated. Conversation rather want it, you need it. Could fill up your tank before it's depleted. Don't care if you calling on Allah, Jesus, Buddha or Christian, not being facetious. Come to the tribe with the students and teachers. All got a voice, we the ears that listen. We the ears that listen. We the ears that listen. Conversation rather want it, you need it. Could fill up your tank before it's depleted. Don't care if you calling on Allah, Jesus, Buddha or Christian, not being facetious. Come to the tribe with the students and teachers. All got a voice, we the ears that listen. We the ears that listen. We the ears that listen. Hey. Yeah. We about to have a good conversation. Yeah, let's go. We about to have a good conversation. Yeah, let's go. Praying for truth cause the world is so fickle. Keeping my mental how clean as a whistle. Attention's a trap, they can lead you astray. Steering this ship through the storm and the haze. Real conversations are lost in the greed. Others get lost in the web that it weaves. Sift through the rhetoric, uncover schemes. Knowledge inherited, this is imperative. I got a lot on my mind and I'm sharing it. Apples to oranges, it ain't no comparisons. I'm the type that'll never break character. I'm the type to make memories and cherish them. Trust intuition and doubt of disparity. Pursuing the echoes of wisdom. Chasing that moment of clarity. Conversation rather one and you need it. Come fill up your tank before it's depleted. Don't care if you calling on Allah, Jesus, Buddha or Christian, not being facetious. Come to the track with the students and teachers. All got a voice who the ears that are listen. We the ears that are listen. We the ears that are listen. Conversation rather one and you need it. Come fill up your tank before it's depleted. Don't care if you calling on Allah, Jesus, Buddha or Christian, not being facetious. Come to the track with the students and teachers. All got a voice who the ears that are listen. Who the ears that are listen. We the ears that are listen.
It's on you, tell the truth.
Peace. I was trying to go at my followers and everything, and the only device I have connected to it is the laptop because my phone broke. So anyways, can't do it. That's all right. We're on Instagram, TikTok. That's good enough. So your mind understands, although does your nervous system? Hi, I am Kimberly Vertigan. I am Universe Badger, co-owner and founder of Unseen Twisted Truth LLC and A Little Assistant Safe Healing LLC. I'm an integrative holistic health practitioner and herbalist. Peace. Tonight we are having a real open conversation about something many of us may quietly experience, although rarely speak honestly about. The mind understands something, although the nervous system still is reacting differently. Lately, I've been noticing little unconscious patterns within myself that make me stop and reflect deeper. Not major dramatic things, just the small things. Sometimes people use broad words like anxiety, insecurity, overthinking, or stress, although sometimes really what's going on underneath is something much deeper and it's more specific, like rejection, like defensiveness, like emotional protection, like old survival conditioning quietly reacting before conscious thought even catches up. Sometimes when we lump everything into a broad word, we can't truly address the real issue because we never slow down enough to see what actually is underneath. The way certain situations can still trigger old survival reactions internally, even when we consciously know we're safe. The way old survival habits still quietly show up even after growth and awareness. Tonight isn't about pretending that everything is that we got it all figured out. This is just an honest community conversation about the things we still notice within ourselves and continue becoming aware of. Because we are the ears that will listen and where your opinion matters. Can you read the deeper meaning, Golden Eagle?
Sometimes awareness arrives before embodiment does. The mind may understand peace, intellectuality, or intellectuality. Although the body may still react from old emotional conditioning, that's the strange thing about survival patterns. Even after life changes, even after growth, even after understanding, the nervous system may still quietly prepare for danger because survival became familiar for so long. So sometimes people aren't intentionally sabotaging peace. Sometimes they're simply reacting from old unconscious patterns they're only now becoming aware of. Maybe healing isn't about never having those reactions again. Maybe it's about noticing them without automatically becoming them. Maybe freedom begins the moment we stop identifying with every emotional reaction and begin observing where it came from instead. Let's have a good conversation.
So, what I've noticed within myself, and I don't know if anybody can relate to this, I'm really transparent and I'm authentic. So, I want to be transparent and authentic everywhere I go, including here. If I can't be open and honest here, then where can I be open and honest? This is a safe space. This is my family. So, I've noticed that I still get triggered by certain things, and it's not like a trigger as an explosion eruption of self, or I'm not over analyzing, I'm not stuck in my head. I just catch myself still getting kind of defensive. I catch myself still feeling like rejection is happening even though it's not. And yet, because of that, I have to stop myself before I speak and think and find out where this underlying problem still lies within myself, because I'm not trying to have perfection of myself, but I would love to be more aware of myself so I can have discernment and also stay with clarity and grounding of my own actions. Have you ever caught yourself, Golden Eagle, do something and you're just thinking, wait a minute, that's my old habits, that's my old patterns?
Absolutely. I think actually just recently I've caught myself overly explaining, which and that's kind of a habit that that I probably formed in the last 5 to 10 years because the old me, my motto was don't even question me. I'm not going to explain myself. But I think in the past probably 5 or 10 years anyway, I somehow managed to form that habit, and I've caught myself. I've kind of broken that habit, but I've definitely caught myself falling back into that occasionally, and then checking myself like, wait a minute, what am I doing? Like this is not necessary. So yeah,
Yeah.
for sure. And that's just one of them. Honestly, I got a couple examples of old patterns or habits I've caught myself sliding back into occasionally, and when I do, I'm like, man, what am I doing? This is not this this ain't what it is. This is not what I need to be doing. This isn't how I need to react or act or behave. That's the old me. But I think that's also how I recognize my growth is because prior to that I wouldn't even recognize that as survival mode or as an old habit, you know. And so at least I'm recognizing or acknowledging it to myself, like, wait a minute, I'm doing that again, you know.
Yeah. How about you, Chef Graham? Have you caught yourself like have you ever noticed yourself reacting from old patterns after your growth?
I catch myself maybe verbally saying something like the old me would, like verbally react the way I would, and then after I finish reacting, I'll tell myself, "Boy, you know you ain't finna do shit." But that's not on everything, but on a lot of things or whatever, I catch myself, reacting the old way just to tell myself, you ain't got that type of energy no more, or whatever. You just used to responding like that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I really got like defensive in a situation that I was and it wasn't even like a verbal situation. There was no content behind it or nothing. I didn't hear the person's voice. It was through a text. I read a text and then my old patterns picked up and all of a sudden I felt defensive. All of a sudden I wanted to leave the situation. I wanted to retreat. I wanted to just say forget it. I don't even want to participate. Lose my number, block me, everything. It was extreme how I was feeling. And I caught myself and was like, why? Why do you feel that way? What did they possibly say to you? And it wasn't verbally say to you. What did you read where I hold the perception? What did you read that made you think that they were attacking you? They have structure. They like things a certain way. They have this standard and rules in place. I'm reading it. Why am I getting offended by it? And then I wasn't even offended. It was just that I felt like, I don't know, I felt rejection. And then when I stopped and thought about it, there's something deeper beneath that. It wasn't just rejection. It stems from abandonment issues. It stems from not being able to speak my mind when I was younger and feeling like I could even like they didn't even cared. No one really even cared. So I adapted this um the survival mechanism to protect me against some impaction of that's not even happening just because I felt like I was getting attacked when it wasn't even they weren't even directing nothing to me. It basically wasn't even about me. And I got offended as if it was. And it wasn't because the shoe fit. It was just because I don't know. I don't know. But once I realized it and I dig deeper within myself, I realized that I was reacting from survival instead of a natural reaction. Because now that we did the neuroplasticity and now that I rewired my brain, why is my subconscious still picking up these patterns? Because they became habit. Kendall, are you able to speak or are you in the background busy? Because if you are, that's fine. But if you're able to say, I would like to know, has any you caught yourself lately?
Oh yeah, I'm here briefly. Yes, it's constantly when I'm trying to do tedious things or tasks, and I tend to get aggravated for no reason. And I know it's like my old anxiety that's trying to come up for no reason because I'm always in protective mode, and I don't need to do that anymore. There's no point. And then the fact you're dealing with such ordeals, it means you're protecting yourself to remove yourself from situations that's not needed. I see the bigger
Facts.
picture.
Facts. So, Golden Eagle, do you think that the nervous system can still respond from survival even when the mind understands peace?
Oh yeah, definitely. I do. Like I said, I think like kind of like I was just saying, actually, it's almost habitual. It's that those patterns are habits too. And so we all kind of I think have a tendency of falling back on old habits. But the mind recognizes it. With that growth, once you start identifying what those things are, then you can still, at least myself, I've caught myself, like I said, reacting like I may have in the past, and as I'm doing it in my head, I'm catching myself, but at that point it's almost too late because I already got in that mode, and so it makes it easier to dial back too, though, at least for myself, because again, because in the past I wasn't even aware, I just my eyes were open to it, so at least at least yeah, in my mind I catch myself because I start to sense it or pick up. And I'm like, wait a minute, that's
You're awfully muffled, they said. They can't hear you on the other end.
okay.
There we go. That's better.
Better? Okay. Yeah, I'm just saying, yeah, in my mind I'll catch myself a little more because I'm aware of it now. Where in the past I wasn't even seeing those things. I wasn't looking at those aspects, those patterns. I wasn't so they're easier to recognize, but sometimes I catch myself getting reactionary as opposed to actually just giving a response. That happens sometimes where again, if I take the time to think it through and give the response, I'm not being as reactionary and I'm not falling into those same patterns, but again, yeah, I can definitely fall into those patterns, um, go right back into survival mode just because the old habits die hard. They do, and in some ways they probably stick with us for a lifetime. It's just we get wiser, we outsmart them. At least that's kind of how I've been looking at it lately. I can be more self-aware, and in the process, I'm just outsmarting those old habits.
Mm-hmm. Kendall couldn't hear you so much that she thought you were asked Jeff Graham because it was so muffled.
I
Okay,
apologize.
yeah,
I'm like,
I
who's
have my mic
talking?
turned down. My bad.
My bad.
Both of y'all.
I'm not
All
repeating all that, Kendall. I'm sorry.
Oh,
That was
hell.
too much.
No, you're all good. It's okay.
Ask Jeff Graham, do you think that the nervous system can still respond from survival even when the mind understands that it's peace?
Me personally, I'm not trying to lose my survival instinct from my nervous system. Like I kind of want that to be automatic because there's a time and a place for everything. I'm just working on controlling self. Um, be knowing when one, that's something that I need to rarely be in. And to always be aware of what's going on or whatever, but I don't want to lose it because it's gonna be a time, place that them super Zen people gonna be ran straight over because they forgot, survival.
I got Moon Tortoise on my side. I don't got to worry about nothing. I'm going to be so zen and he's going to be G.I. Jane.
You gonna get that man G.I. Jane because he had to worry about two people. You better get on your
No, I swear. I don't got that. I got a different kind of dog in me, not that one. Kendo, do you think that the nervous system can still respond from survival even when the mind understands peace?
Most definitely. Like, for instance, I woke up extremely sick this morning because I know I'm traveling first thing tomorrow, and I'm so used to such traveling ordeals, my body reacts to the anxiety of it. I'm so used to it. I'm like, why am I reacting like that? So
Yeah.
it's like one of those things where I know it, but it's just one of those things. I don't know. It's just odd that way.
I realize that we pollution our inside and not realizing that it's not a disease, it's a dis-ease, and because of the dis-ease within ourselves that we become sick and nauseous and we become having all these health conditions and stuff because we are in dis-ease. Can you receive that, Kendo?
Makes a lot of sense too. Yeah.
So I believe, yeah, that the nervous system can still respond. And I don't even think it's just survival. There's a difference between survival and then those patterns that we picked up for protection. And it's not protection against people because I still, that demon's still inside of me. I don't mean like that. I'm talking about the little things like I'm worried about getting grounded. Who is going to ground me? No one's going to take away my PS5 or whatever. I don't have one, but I'm saying at the end of the day, no one's going to punish me and I'm not going to get grounded, but yet I'm still over here trying to protect myself as if I could be in trouble. And the only trouble that I actually could get into is ruining how I am aligned right now with receiving what is meant for me because of the frequency of receiving. That's the only trouble I can get, is going backwards. And I don't see that ever happening at the end of the day. I come this far and I'm not going to let these little, what are they? Insecurities, habit forming, synchronicities, whatever you want to call them. I'm not going to let the little things get the best of me. I'm going to stop. I'm going to address it. I'm going to be aware of it. I'm going to, yeah, your mom can ground you, Kendall. She can't ground me. I'm going to be aware of it because I want to do better for me. That's all. I want to have that dharma within inside myself, that nothing around me or no one around me can affect my inner solar system, my ecosystem of self. So, what unconscious habits have you noticed with yourself lately? And you were speaking on some earlier on Golden Eagle. What are some other ones?
Reacting in anger, actually, or frustration, because like usually, actually, when I'm frustrated, I come across as I'm pissed off, which I probably am a little bit, because being frustrated can piss me off, I guess, in a way, but that's definitely one of them. Responding, actually, not reacting, and coming across angry, actually, but I know that's actually one that I'm really the most proud of myself for, is that I've gotten really good at. I've reined that in so much, man. It's like now I don't even respond in anger. I just laugh at things now, like, and a lot of times it's like I'll catch myself where I know the old me would have been speaking out of frustration or anger, and today, like, I ain't even, not today specifically, but now I would you just catch me kind of laughing, and I'm really more laughing at myself, because I realize that in the past I catch myself thinking like, in the past that would have pissed me off. And so then I start laughing, like I kind of chuckle, and because I'm laughing at myself for it, but it also makes me helps me deal with whatever it is that I might find frustrating in a better light too, and it gives me that pause so that I can actually respond and not be reactionary. It's but again, it's also because of just how I'm seeing things so much differently today than I was, in the past. Like I said, my eyes are a little more open today than they probably ever have been. So, which is why I can also, about 25 years ago, I was seeing a therapist for a while. I was dealing with some grief, some really hard grief, and it really, for a long time, it had me really callous, or feeling really calloused. Like I numbed my emotions, and that therapist told me, she said, you got to learn to find the humor in things, so I've really practiced that for so many years now, and I've gotten really good at that too, I guess, which makes it easier for me to laugh at myself when I think about the fact that, like, that have pissed the old me off, and then I'm like I said, I'm kind of laughing at myself for it, like, that's just silly that I would even get angry about that, because like I said, there's no need for me to get angry just because somebody's trying to piss me off, or because the situation is just frustrating to deal with. Like I don't have to react that way, and like I said, so in a sense, I'm kind of finding the humor in things, which makes it a lot easier to deal with, and it gives me, like I said, it gives me that pause, man. That's one thing that I've been doing a lot of, is just before I respond, taking the time to just kind of breathe, think about it, and like I said, and most times when I do that, I tend to find the humor in it, as opposed to finding what can trigger the anger or the frustration, And so it's also kind of funny how it took so many years for that piece of advice to really fully set in and work its magic, but that I've heard her voice in the back of my head many times through the years too, and I feel like it's that seed is finally truly planted or sprouted,
Hmm. SGF Graham, what unconscious habits have you noticed within yourself lately?
Can you repeat that again?
What unconscious habit have you noticed within yourself lately?
Um, so I can't think of one.
I can come back.
Yeah, I no, I really can't think of one. Like I'm not trying to be no super god or no super positive guy or whatever, but I can't think of no subconscious habit just because I started to renew mine several months ago. So yeah, I really don't have no more whatever. Like I'm just battling just people. Whatever I is nothing internal anymore, whatever, which I'm very glad because it took too long for me to get there, but I got there.
Okay. Kendall, what unconscious habits have you noticed within yourself lately?
Oh, you really want me to go there today? Okay. I tend to do a lot of pacing when I'm anxious, and I tend to go for really long walks lately and just get my thoughts sorted out. And afterwards, I feel okay. And then this lack of sleep. I don't sleep on a good day. I can go for days without sleep and have coffee, and there you go. And what else? Oh, yeah, I just tend to do like a weird subconscious thing of why am I talking to myself? It's okay. Let it be. So that's my way for starting out my thoughts out loud sometimes, even when I'm painting too. It's just one of those things where I learned how to adapt. And yes, I did have a cup of coffee today. Don't mind me. So yeah, besides that, I'm just me. You can't judge me.
I think you and DDH are similar in certain things that you just said. Because he does the pacing and talking to himself, and it's the way that he's able to think of his thoughts and make sure they're like analyze them properly and make sure they're addressed properly. He outwardly thinks and paces and whatnot. So and goes days without sleeping. You guys might have to do a shadow thing with each other because you guys are similar. Go ahead, SGF Graham.
Yeah, I thought you was saying like subconscious, like I about to say consciously I do those things that she said, but subconsciously I would because I intentionally do that. That's how I start all my mornings or whatever. I'll write down my affirmations and while everybody lay down and after I take the dogs out for the first time, that's like my whole time, like to be complete in my thoughts. I don't have to say nothing out loud. I'm just all in my thoughts, whether it's laughing, planning something, getting excited about something. Like subconsciously, I wouldn't say I do it. Consciously, yeah.
It says unconscious, yeah. So
What do unconscious mean by that? Like unconscious, like
subconscious.
sleep?
I think unconscious as in subconscious. That you're not thinking about doing it, it just comes naturally. You're just doing it.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I don't know about that one. Yeah.
Okay. So mine, like I said about the rejection in feeling attacked, almost not even attacked. I can't even say attacked. I really just felt like it was against me that they had structure. And I was just, once I realized that, I was like, that doesn't make no sense. But at the end of the day, when you put that word in a broader aspect of anxiety, stress, overthinking, none of those things I do. But when I sit there and I start breaking the word down itself, then I can actually address that because now I know it's one thing. And where did that one thing come from? So, like you were saying, go ahead, SJ Graham. I'll remember.
I got one. Don't laugh. For
Okay.
some reason, while I'm thinking, I do realize that like I go to roll up a blunt. And then when I look, I already got one that's rolled up. And I'm like, what the hell am I doing? Or whatever, like, for some reason, whenever I start thinking heavy, I go straight to rolling up something. I don't even know why or whatever, but there we go. I don't know why I do that, but that's definitely one subconsciously I do.
Okay. Okay. And so yeah, that was one thing with me. And then but like somebody else can tell me something different. Somebody else actually can like deny something me of something and I won't feel rejected. It's weird. It's like I can't make sense of it. Rejection normally is when you're not when they're not accepting what you have to say or do, right? I don't Is that right? Golden Eagle? Rejection.
Rejection. What?
Is that when like they don't accept what you say or something? Like
Yeah,
they're not
yeah, for sure. They don't accept what you say, or I mean, rejection comes in quite a few different forms, for sure. But yeah, not non-acceptance of your word is a big one.
okay, go ahead, SGF Graham.
Which rejection gets the bigger reaction out of you? The no or no response?
I don't mind either. No, don't bother me. I'm telling you, it was weird. The no does not bother me. People can tell me no and I accept it. It was because of somebody having structure and their standard of how they do things. Because I wanted to do it a certain way, but they didn't want to do it that way because they have a system set up for a reason. I got offended as if it was a personal attack that they had a system set up. Because I like control and I like to be in control. And when I don't feel like I'm able to do the way I want to, I don't know, because control don't even bother me when someone takes over. I'm okay with that too. I don't get it. Go ahead, SGF.
Do you feel like when you're not in control, you're left out?
No, because it wasn't even that. It wasn't even that. I felt I had an opportunity to do something, so I wanted to do it when I had the opportunity to do it. And I got told, no, they don't want it done until the time to be done because this is how they have it set up.
Uh, just talking about this rejection actually reminds me about, I think it was last weekend. It might have been the week. It was the weekend before last. But my son's been messing with his car. He's it's a fixer upper, and he's done some things to it. He's had it in the shop a couple times. He got it running on the road, but still had a couple things going on. And I said to him Saturday morning. I said, he's got a bad belt on it. It's running, it's good, but the belt's it's bad. You can hear it squeaking and stuff. And I said, if you want, man, we could go ahead and go out there and change that belt. And he's like, "Nah, that's cool. I'm gonna go kick it with my homeboy." I'm like, "Okay." And then about 2 hours later, him and his homeboy are out there working on the car, and I was salty about it for a minute, like straight up. But he didn't want my help, but he wants to go out there with his buddy and work on the car. Yeah, I'm just not cool enough for that, I guess. Like I kind of got salty about it for a minute, but then I just kind of laughed and realized, he just wanted to. I think he just wanted to do it on his own. His homeboy was just there supervising, But I mean, that was definitely a form of rejection because he shot me down quick when I was like, I'll give you a hand. We can go swap that belt out. And he's like, "Nah, that's cool. I'm just gonna kick it with my homeboy." I'm like, whatever, man. Okay. But,
Yeah, see, and I can't make sense of it. Because I don't have a problem with people saying no. I like it when they say no because that means that it wasn't aligned. I'm so okay with that. And I don't have to always be in control. I think it's just because I had an ideal in my head and this would have been the perfect opportunity to do it. And I don't know when I'll have that opportunity again to fulfill the expectations they want from me. So I felt like, just let me do it. But they have a system set up for them for a reason. And that's why I felt like defensive. I really felt like I just going to back out. I'm just going to quit. But then I started thinking, why? What's meant to happen will happen. Eventually something will happen. I'll eventually have to figure it out and get up another, it's okay. But like, I realized that was affecting me. And I mean, I seriously was about to like block them and ghost and just go, because I'm a runner. So I was just going to get up and go. And it wasn't necessary. It really wasn't necessary. Just because it didn't play out the way I thought it should in my head doesn't mean it's not right. And that's when same thing with you. Just because it didn't play out the way you thought it should have in your head doesn't mean that it's not right.
Right. Exactly.
And I learned that, and I was just like, okay. It really wasn't about me. It had nothing to really honestly do with me.
Yeah, exactly.
So once I realized that, I was able to reflect and actually point and I was proud of me. I was so proud of me for pointing that out within myself without reacting, without getting upset, because I don't get upset anyways. It takes a lot for me to get upset. I'm telling you, a lot. I've had people slap me in my face, pull my hair, everything, and I have not reacted. It takes a lot for me to get upset, because I push that demon way down in, because I'm afraid of that demon, because if that demon snaps, there's no stopping it. So I really pushed it down. So it takes a lot to move me. I'm talking a lot. So I don't get reactive.
That slap in the face thing just immediately made me think about something somebody told me. I don't even remember who it was that said it, but they were talking about Jesus and that whole saying where, you turn the other cheek thing. And they pointed out to me that, they didn't believe that Jesus did that to be like, I forgive you or to demonstrate some kind of softness. He actually was doing that to show his strength. Like that wasn't good enough. You might want to try again.
Yeah.
He stood his ground and held it down, and that was it. It gave me a different perspective on Jesus too. Like, really, I see that. Like, he was a lot tougher than I thought. Like he was not being soft in that moment. He was actually like kind of calling them out. Like, that's all you got. You might want to try again.
I swear, I've had a girl grab me by my hair, and she was pulling me by my hair, and she just kept hitting me with my face and saying, "Why aren't you going to fight me?" I said, "Because how you're acting is trifling."
Right.
And she was like, "Call me trifling again." I said, "I'm not calling you anything. I'm addressing your reaction, and it's trifling to me. It's beneath me. I will not stoop to that." And she's like, "You're gonna do this. You're gonna fight me." And I'm like, "No, I'm not." And then eventually she stopped, because I wasn't going to retaliate. I wasn't going to meet her there. And I've had people come in my face. I had my own son hit me in my face, not hit me per se, slap me. And I did not react. And it's because it takes a lot to move me that way. It will take a lot to move me in that way, because my power, just like you were saying, my power is my strength within control. Owning my control is my power. And giving it away to somebody really actually bothers me at times. And I'm just learning healthy boundaries, and I'm learning when to tell people, "Go ahead, SGF Graham, I can remember."
Slap Jesus, not me.
No.
That's all I got to say. Slap Jesus, not me. I am not him. Do not put your hands on me. I did everything. I walked away and everything. Do not put your hands on me.
We're not gonna bring him back from the dead afterwards either.
I am not held accountable for what you wanted done to you just now, for putting your hands on me.
Oh, that got me. But the thing is, though, once you realize that you have that power, that's your power. That controls your power. That pause, that's your power, not the reaction. But I'm not going to try, SGF Graham. I promise you. I will not try you. So, have you ever realized certain situations triggered the old emotional reaction, even when your conscious knew you were safe? Oh, we already did that one. How about this one? I sounded like it was familiar. Why do you think peace can sometimes look unfamiliar? Ooh. Golden Eagle. Why does peace look unfamiliar?
Because it is. I mean, I don't know. I'm no young man. It has not been a peaceful life. There's been battle after battle, whether it's within myself, with other people, with with the courts, with cliques, with I mean, you know, I'm a big fan of Sun Tzu and the Art of War, and the truth is, we're always at odds, whether it's with ourselves or outside forces, and so peace is not a familiar thing to me. That's just the way I see it. We're always at odds with something, and being at odds means we're at war with something, you know, and so yeah, it's just not a very familiar thing. I'm getting comfortable in my own peace. I'm just getting to know peace, honestly. You know, but yeah, it's been a long, hard life, and there hasn't been a whole lot of peace in it. So that's why it's unfamiliar, because yeah, because I'm just getting to know it. I had to find it in myself, obviously. And that's I think that's only thing or person, or that's the only way I'm gonna get it. I think that's the only way any of us find peace is looking within ourselves and coming to peace, at peace with ourselves, you know. And it's taken me a long time to get there. I know that.
Okay.
And
Ask Jeff Graham. Oh, go
sorry,
ahead.
I'm just gonna say that, you know, I still catch myself at odds with myself sometimes, you know,
Yeah.
because I still have to take the time to breathe before I react, and you know, and give a decent response, or yeah, I still find myself at odds with myself often enough, you know. So
Ask Jeff Graham. Why do you think peace can feel unfamiliar?
Why do I think peace feels unfamiliar?
Yes, it can.
Because all people have seen is hell.
Hmm.
You know, and that's your algorithm, or when it's not your algorithm, but somehow the algorithm decide to throw it up there once a day to try to see if you'll click on it. You know, it's you get a different perspective of the world. You start to think that everything just crazy or whatever. So it's ingrained in your brain before you even know it is. So and then you looking at stuff like love and hip hop or some reality show that's making people feel like, oh, this is how people are acting, or even the rich people got these same issues, you know, which is not. It's all actuality show. It's not reality. It should be called actuality. It's actually not happening, but it could. Well, but it gets everybody, so everybody is innately become this, not even knowing that they have.
Okay. How about you, Kendall? Why do you think peace is unfamiliar?
Um, I think on many different aspects, it's almost like a delusional type of perspective. It's just knowing who you are. It's kind of hard to answer that properly without getting conflict. It's just knowing who you are in life.
Okay. For me, I see it as because our whole life we've been trying to be protecting ourselves. We had survival mode forever. Even though we say we want peace, our nervous system's used to chaos disruption. Our nervous system's used to things going wrong so that we can protect ourselves. And because of that, even though we want peace, we don't know how to live in it. And I'm not talking because the world's unpeaceful. I'm talking about our inner world. Our inner world is never been peaceful because we've been surviving our whole life within internally, protecting our heart, protecting our mind, protecting our body. That when we are calm, we're just ready for the next thing to happen. Instead of realizing that shit ain't gonna happen, we can relax. But yet it feels unfamiliar because we're not used to it. I mean, I've been putting books in my butt since I was 6, so I didn't get spankings. So I don't remember a time where I wasn't trying to protect myself from something. I came out ass first. I was born breech. I was protecting myself then. The umbilical cord was wrapped around my neck. They pulled it off, pushed me back in, turned me around, and I'm just like, all right, I'm ready to fight now. Something's going on just because I was born. So, I mean, it's been like that my whole entire life. So I don't remember a time where I was able to just relax until I learned control. And once I learned control, I don't worry no more. I'm telling you, the house could be on fire and I'm going to walk out calmly. I really am. And it's only because I went through those steps of stopping the panic attack, stopping the anxiety, stopping all that. I'm even battling Chat GTP all the time, saying, and it says to me all the time, well, I'm proud of you for not reacting and like da 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 da. I don't. I'm not that person. I'm not a reactive person. So I don't know what you're proud of. I haven't been in years. And it's so normal to me to have peace. I'm serious. When you see me out of sorts, then you have to come to me and say, what's wrong? That's because I'm so calm all the time. All the time. Do you think awareness automatically changes the behavior or changes behavior? Golden Eagle. Do you think awareness automatically changes behavior?
No, not automatically. I mean, you become aware of it, and that's when you, at least I'm just speaking for myself, I became aware of the patterns and habits that I had developed living in survival mode. And because I was aware of them, I started to change behaviors, but it was a matter of forming new habits to break the old ones, like I said, like taking that second to breathe or laugh or chuckle prior to, as opposed to reacting, because I've always been a reactive person. Yeah, so I mean, I'm still practicing those and forming those habits in a sense, I've got it, because I had to form new habits. I had to become aware of it first, but it didn't happen automatically. It took practice and self-discipline, and after practicing something over and over again, then you start forming new different habits, and so. And again, I'm just speaking for myself, but no, I don't believe that happens automatically. You become aware first, and then you start to change the behaviors, those habits.
Okay. So I just Googled, well, I asked ChatGTP, what chemicals does stress release, like chaos release? And they said cortisol, adrenaline, and norepinephrine. I don't know what that is, but that's connected to the alertness of like fight or flight or threat detection. So our body naturally releases these chemicals. They're like adrenals. They just release them naturally when we're in that state, especially like stress. It's a hormone. It releases the neural transmitters. So I'm going to see what else also is similar to that of releasing, but I'm going to ask Kendall this question. Kendall, do you think that awareness automatically changes the behavior?
Nope. It takes time.
Okay. How about you, SGF Graham?
Awareness is the beginning of changing behavior. To me, it's one and the same, because no matter how much you are told that you need to change whatever behavior and you hear them, that don't mean that you technically aware of it. I look at aware like that's when you cross the Red Sea, and your repetition is when you're going through the 40 years or whatever you want to call it, of wilderness. Like, so I count it as the beginning of it.
I believe that too. I agree. It is the first step. Like I said, I didn't realize that that's how I was. And now that once I realized it, I was so excited. I called Moon Tortoise. I was excited. I was like, guess what I just did? I was proud of myself for acknowledging that, because it does start with awareness. It doesn't matter. Does it mean it automatically changes it? No. But I do believe once you're aware of it, then you have that choice. Either it becomes a pattern or a habit by choice. Because now that you know, you have that choice to stop it from happening. And it is baby steps, but first acknowledging is the first step of anything. You can't stop it if you don't know. And sometimes we're too close into the situation that we don't see it. So it's not that we don't care. It's just that we're not aware. So go ahead, SGF Graham.
Yes. I kind of look at it like when you're a squeak on the car and you're not car savvy or whatever. You know that it's a problem, but until you are aware of what the exact problem is, you're just gonna be fixing anything, hoping that you get it right. But once you're aware of what's causing that squeak, you can work straight on that. You can start to deal with the issue itself, and that's how I like to look at it.
Yeah, that's true. I'm skipping this question. Let me see about this one. Have you ever caught yourself reacting emotionally, although logically knowing that you were safe? Oh, we already basically discovered that one too. All right, so I did write something earlier because I want to talk about a segment. If we don't have a guest come on next Thursday, I would like to talk about depression, not depression like people are depressed and sad. Depression. When you suppress stuff and you hold it down and you push it down inside of your body, because that's where you feel the tightness and stuff like that, and the over, anxiety or stress or whatever. It's because you're depressing something. It's not because you're depressed, but it's depressing. You're pushing it down. So there's certain things that chat said that this is why people confuse peace with boredom, and calm with emptiness, and healthy love with lack of passion, regulation with nothing happening, because our nervous system becomes familiar with intensity, even though alone can release stress chemicals, even though being alone can release that stress chemicals, but our body is so used to intense reactions that when something isn't happening intensely, we don't know how to act. Like, I'm going to use this for an example. I don't personally know, because I've never done a serious drug my whole entire life, but I always know that people will be like, oh my God, that person almost OD'd on that. I would like to get that. Let me see. What is that? What is that? Because they're chasing that high. They're chasing that thrill. They're chasing that chemical that's being released from that almost, taking you out. So, because when people like them chemicals, there's something going on with them. They're not just thrill seekers. There's a reason why chemically that they're drawn to that kind of attachment, and it really is a chemical thing. So I want to read this real quick. Everybody talks about changing the world, although rarely do people talk about changing themselves inside the world. We want peace in this world while still carrying war within ourselves. Everybody wants to heal the system. Few people stop long enough to heal the survival system living within inside themselves. Why does everyone feel like the problem is always out there? Why do we spend so much time blaming people, circumstances, the government, relationships, money, childhood, pain, betrayal, society, without realizing that eventually the external world begins living internally? Because survival taught us that to react outward before reflecting inward. So we chase happiness, we chase validation, we chase love, we chase success, we chase distraction. thinking something outside of us will finally quiet the pressure within us. Although the pressure was never only outside. The body remembers, the nervous system remembers, the mind remembers, the survival patterns, the fear, the rejection, the abandonment, the hypervigilance, the emotional armor. And eventually we become so identified with the survival version of ourselves that we forget who we were before survival became our personality. Maybe that's why peace feels uncomfortable to so many, because chaos became familiar. Maybe that's why stillness feels unnatural, because the nervous system became addicted to the preparing for impact. And maybe the greatest work we will ever do isn't changing the world around us. Maybe it's becoming conscious of what the world is created within inside of us. Not to blame ourselves, not to shame ourselves, although to finally understand ourselves enough to stop reaching and reacting unconscious pain. Because if the war within us never ends, we will continue projecting that war out onto the world around us, onto relationships, onto strangers, onto communities, onto ourselves. Everything internal becomes a mirror for the internal environment we refuse to acknowledge. So maybe healing isn't because someone knew. Maybe healing is dissolving the survival version of ourselves that was built from fear, pressure, pain, protection. Maybe the freedom begins the moment we stop asking, what's wrong with the world? And we start asking, what inside of me still believes survival is the only way to live? And that's what I want to talk about on Thursday. I want to talk about not the survival patterns that we pick up, because that's what we did today. I want to talk about situations that we look outwardly for. There's a bunch that we always are chasing outwardly for without realizing they have to start within first. So let's do the reflective segment part.
You want me to read that?
Yes.
Okay. Maybe growth isn't becoming a completely different person. Maybe growth is becoming aware enough to notice the unconscious patterns we've carried for years, the reactions, the assumptions, the fear, the emotional habits, the survival responses. Awareness creates a pause, and inside that pause, we slowly begin choosing differently. Not perfectly, not instantly, although consciously. Because sometimes the biggest realization isn't what's wrong with me. Sometimes it's I didn't realize how long survival was speaking for me.
Hmm.
I really relate with that too. Really, especially the pause part, because like I said, that's something that I've really integrated in a big way in this past year. You know, I've taken the time. I've kind of learned how, because I never knew how to even do that before. It was always a constant reaction, and so that pause part is really big. It is. I know it's personally made a huge difference for myself and just how I communicate with others, and it's even made me a better listener. You know, taking that pause and just making sure that I'm fully hearing a person out before I react and take the time to give a good, just healthy response. And so I really
So what's your positive message?
take that pause, just take that pause, pause, breathe, laugh, listen, and respond. Don't react.
Yeah, I love that for you.
Take,
Kendall, what is your positive message?
Learn to re-navigate yourself.
Okay. SGF Graham, positive message.
I'm great. You are too.
Ah, thank you. So My positive message is no one's telling you to be perfect unless you striving to be perfect, because perfection is what I'm looking for. And it's not perfect in the eye of a human. It's perfect in the eyes of myself. I want to be perfectly conscious of every decision that I make. I want to be perfectly aware and mindful of others' reactions and let alone my own. So for me, perfection is what I'm trying to strive for, with discernment, with grace. It's balance. So at the end of the day, love yourself. Love yourself unconditionally, regardless. Regardless. This is an invitation. If tonight's conversation connected with you and you have a story that that's worth hearing, we invite you to join us. You can join us on the platform, or you could just send us your story and one of us will read it. Become part of our community, though. Not only does your opinion matter here, so does your story. We're the ears that will listen, and where your opinion honestly does matter. So, thank you everyone for tuning in. We are the People's Podcast. And just don't be different in this world. Become the difference of the world. Until next time, thank you for taking time out of your day to come heal with us. May your night be full of positive energy and high vibrations filled with peace and love. Ashe, everyone.
Peace, peace.
Love you guys, man. All right,
Hello,
y'all.
Connor.
So grateful for you guys, man.
See
Love
ya.
you guys. Peace.
Peace, love y'all.
I am outie.
Let's get to the bottom of this one. Unspoken truths that I miss one. Tap into the minds of the people, rather acknowledge before I dismiss one. Atheists, Muslim, Christians, Buddhists, they all got usage. All got perspective, it's a collective. Get to the bottom where the truth is, where the heart's uncovered. Where you detox from all of the lies you smothered. Where them tries could have killed you, but with faith you recover. Yup. Peel off the makeup, we finna take off. Never said it'd be a cakewalk. Meditate till we charged up. Execute goes regardless. Decalcify my pineal. Breaking language barriers, we saw millennials. Planets passing age rotations, down me we owe. So down me we know. Sometimes we can be slow, that's why my ears open. Every drop you add could complete the ocean. Speak up, play your part too. Been vulnerable, it's so hard to.